Right, next up we have number 2, Ryan Wallbridge riding Kyla McLaughlin's Narita HZ. This is a new ride for Ryan, a 10-year-old mare. Kyla's gone to varsity and he got the end of the ride on this mare at the end of last year. Oh, they haven't been jumping that jump ball at all. And yesterday Kevin built a similar line going down the opposite end of the arena, which did take out half the class. So I think we're going to see a lot of thrills and spills coming up into that treble today. Ryan rides for the stable of Grant Langley at Foresyte Stud. I think everyone says he is the most up and coming young rider that there is on the scene. Rides beautifully. Well done for getting her through there. What a pity. Beautiful round for Ryan after that mishap. See what he finishes up on. Right, next up we have number 3. It's Tamar Glicksman, the owner and founder of Farnham Riding School for the juniors and the children's, based in Kailami. And she's riding Cosmo K, the 8-year-old gelding by Connor out of an Accord 2 mare. He's been off for about a year. He's come back into work this year. And let's see what they can do. The lovely gelding. She bought him from Quinton Janssen, who imported him through Hilmar Meyer, I think about 4 years ago. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Nice forward ride on the 6. Oh, well done, Tam. Another nice 6 down to number 7. And this line Ryan rode up on 9 strides. 1, 2, 3. And beautiful up on the 8 strides. Great ride. That was a pity. He got a bit stuck there. Great riding from Tamar. I don't think she'll be too sad that they'll finish on 4 penalties. They made it look a lot easier.
So looking for our first win, although it's early days, it's a big class. horses and riders take part. That's 71 of that. Capel Hampton goes next. In fine fettle, fine form of legs. Being a winner at Stocky's Dry not too long ago. This is number 4.
Okay, next up we have number 4, Charlie and Crockett, riding Capital Hampton. He's a 7-year-old gelding. He's by Hitoshi out of Optimum van Wellington mare, and he's fairly new to the 130s. He wouldn't have done too many 130s before this, so this is going to be quite a step up for him. But I did speak to Charlie, and she's very happy with how his show's gone, and she is very fond of this little guy. Oh, just a little bit into the rail jumping out, but for a young horse he jumped that line beautifully. Getting very quick on the 8. Shame, just the 4. That was beautiful. I think she'll be ecstatic with that round. Probably kicking herself, but very proud of her little young man. That was a great round. Still no clears.
Not today, I'm afraid. That was number 4. Copan has been a winner here at the show. Is in good form. Rain Marshall goes.
Okay, so next up, number 5, Rain Marshall and Copan. Aiden's just announced that she has won on this horse at this show, and Shelley sitting next to me said he's a seasoned campaigner, so we can expect big things in this round. He's a 16-year-old gelding by Philippi out of a Hobnob mare. Skipping through, no problem. Got there very quick on the 8, just catching it behind. He's very cute, this horse. He looks very keen to do his job. Definitely looks very fast in the jump off. Oh, yeah, no, he looks like a super guy. Oh. Okay, so just the 4 there for Copan and Rain Marshall. I don't think they got time penalty. And Buck Rogers. Okay, next up, number 6, Foresyte Buck Rogers and Jethro Bauer. Also a young horse, 7-year-old gelding by Berlioz. Grant's stallion, shame that unfortunately passed away, but he did jump him successfully in the 150s. And this horse is out of, for Pleasure mare. So this horse is bred in the purple. He was a bit spooky yesterday, didn't have the best day. But if anyone can do the job, Jethro can. Jethro's riding like a machine this show. He's been a pleasure to watch on all his horses. Oh, he's got 3 rides in this class. How long has Jethro ridden at Grant?
He's been there for about 3 years now.
He's been in Grant Stable for 3 years, and he's just blossomed. He's really just a beautiful guy to watch on a horse. This horse, I think, didn't have a great day yesterday, so this is going to be hard work for Jethro. I think his focus is going to be on just getting around the track. Has he jumped a lot of open classes?
Not that we know. And we jumped in 135 in Joburg at the last World Cup. We had a horrible start on the triple bar in that 135 championship.
Shattered his nerves a bit.
Yeah, he's just consolidating again. Tight sense.
There we go. I mean, Jethro's got to be so accurate at every jump he gets to with this horse to just try and get him to go over. At least he got around today. I think he'll be happy with that. Total of 15 penalties for Jethro and Buck Rogers. 3 for time. But like I said, yesterday got eliminated, so I think today with this tough track he'll be happy. Next up is number 7, Gareth Neal, an eye catcher. Riding for Delmon Mining and Civils. Eye catches a 12-year-old gelding by Van Gogh. He's Garrett's mare that he jumps in the World Cups and all the 150 classes. Dartoli's also by Van Gogh. So Garrett bought this horse from Gale, I think 1 or 2 years ago. And he's had a great show on him. I think he had an unlucky pole yesterday. And also that treble catching them out. I think people are going to tie Kevin to that jump tonight if he puts it in the class tomorrow. Jumped out of that double beautifully. Oh, that's a pity. I think he's going to be annoyed with that unnecessary pole.
Our first gear, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Aiden's missed that he had going into that treble there, but he does finish on 4 penalties. Next up, Shayton Hendricks riding Shaunae Gooch's Callao Condior. She is very flashy. Beautiful mare that he bought off the Callao auction. 6. He rode that beautifully, skipping around for one of his clients, and I think she felt this horse was a bit too much quality for her, so he swapped her out for another horse of his, and they both landed up very happy now, and he just adores this mare, and he's been very good and patient in producing her, and she's had a wonderful show. Giving her a great ride there on the 8 and just waiting for her to jump out nicely of the double. Oh, what a first clear round. Beautiful. showing everyone how to do it. They'll all be ecstatic with that.
By chasing Hendricks, and that in fact was clear. Apologies to Garrett and connections there. 4 penalties for eye catcher. Clear round though for Gallo Condior. That was number 9. Scratched his number 8. Riders, please, if there are any changes, please let us know.
Okay, so we've had a scratching at number 8, Calo Casalera. She's scratched. Next up, we got number 9, Bronwyn De Santos with Kaya Fanet Netov. A spectacular 11-year-old mare by Kotoki out of a Codex mare. Bronwyn bought her from Tamsin Wegra Stick, and Jono used to ride her. I think Jono jumped up to the 130s, 135s, and Bronwyn bought her, and they seem to have been having a wonderful show. Skipping through there, no problem. Me not even breathing on a pole, just jumping very happily and comfortably, and just having a beautiful round to watch. Oh, clear round number 2, 2 in a row.
Clear round. Kaya Fanet Netov. We have a jump off. 1, 2, 3, 9, 8, 10, and 11. 1, 2, 3, 9, 8, 10, and 11.
Right, next up, have number
Kaya Fanet Netov.
11, I0, owned and ridden by Brittany DeToy. There you go. This is a 13-year-old gelding. He's very well bred. He's by Cicero, out of an Alisco mare. That Brittany's boyfriend Lawrence Mowat is campaigning in Europe, and she's going to go over to join him. Hey Shelley, I think she can't wait. Looks like he's having a whale of a time there.
I want to make sure it has less of a whale.
Of flying the flag, yeah, she'll go 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, she did have to ride a bit hard on the 6. There you go, that was such a pity. The rest of that round was great, amazing. She made it look very easy. Just the one down into the treble, the jump of the class. Okay, next up we've got James Lowe. He owns and rides Sios Sampras. This is Sampras's first 130 show. Day 1 he had a few poles, he looked a bit wild. Yesterday he had 1 or 2 silly rails, but he just gets better and better every round he jumps. And I think this horse is very exciting. He's a baby, 7-year-old Sampras Drosselklang. I think James bought him in Namibia. He's like a 2 or 3-year-old and has produced him himself alongside with being coached by Dominique Alexander. What a horse. Yeah, little horse, but he covers ground and he looks as brave as a lion. He looks like if you aim him at the judge's box, he'll jump it and he'll give it 3 meters clearance height. And James is giving him a beautiful ride as well. I think when you produce a horse and you've had him for so long, you know him like the back of your hand. Oh, shame. Sorry, I cursed him. That was beautiful. I think he'll be ecstatic for that. 4 penalties at the horse's first show. That's an exciting horse for the future.
James Lowen's 4 penalties, number 12. 13 is next, Zandi Alcock.
Okay.
Favor the Bowl, number 13. By 14, Sheikh of Araby, Clara Bluckner.
Right, next up, number 13, Zandi Alcock owns and rides Favor the Bold. Favor the Bold is 11-year-old gelding by Stage Core out of Kitwood. So this is a thoroughbreed. Yeah. Lots of thoroughbreds going around in the open classes.
Seem to be coming back into.
They're coming back into fashion, definitely. And there are a few amazing ones in the lower grades as well, with some top riders.
Jodie Peters as well.
Jodie Peters, Catherine Neal's got an amazing thoroughbred in the lower grades. Carla Gertenbach coming next on a thoroughbred. The little horse covers so much ground as well. It looks nice and hot. Always going to the jump. Oh.
Lovely forward, positive ride there by Zandi Alcock.
Yeah, that was looked very easy that round. Unfortunately, 4 penalties. Right, next up we've got another thoroughbred, Art Rival, owned and ridden by Kayla Gertenbach. I think they've been in the 130s for a little while now. 10-year-old gelding by a Paro out of a National Emblem mare. So he's beautifully bred for show jumping on the thoroughbred lines. And Kayla's so good at producing young horses and riding horses that are a little bit tricky. She makes everything look so easy. Sure. He's really trying hard, lifting his feet. Beautifully through the combination. Oh, she made that look so easy. Clear. Third clear round from Kayla and Art Rival. And that horse jumped really, really beautifully. He was giving the jumps lots of air. Ecstatic with that. Okay, next up, Tamara Rueda. She owns and rides Just on Time Z.
Just on time, standing by, number 16, Tamara Rueda. Bell has gone.
Okay, they've come in on at number 16. He's a 10-year-old stallion. I think he landed here last year, so they also have a fairly new partnership. He is beautiful. You can't see he's got a beautiful white face. He's wearing a compression hood. Apparently the point of a compression hood is to calm them or make them feel secure. The same way you wrap a dog in bandages when there's thunder. Oh, it releases endorphins, Shelley's telling me, because a lot of riders are coming in with these hoods now. I know Lara at Equestrian Affairs sells them if anyone's interested in trying them. What is the effect on a horse to calm it?
Apparently, the lady that
Oh.
I spoke to, the lady from Mobile Mask, I think it's called, and she said it places pressure on the student's parts in their face that allows it to release endorphins, and that has a calming effect. So the release of the endorphin has a calming effect, and that's
Okay.
recommended for horses that are hook biters,
So these,
any stable biters.
yeah, so these hoods press on the horse's pressure points in its face, and then it releases endorphins, which is very interesting theory.
A couple of the riders have got them swear by them, and then others they just can't really say whether it helps or not.
Okay, just a little soft poll there for Tam. I don't think she'll be sad with that. 4 penalties, but a beautiful round to watch. Yeah, we're just waiting for a horse. Let's see who comes into the arena next.
Well, we have some time. Optimal physiological functioning strengthens the immune system, which in turn sustains energy levels, helps with stress, and reduces recovery time. Please visit the Equestrian
So trotting into the arena now, we have number 18, Rivervale Boy Wonder. He's owned and ridden by Caitlin Pike.
Clara, is that you? No? Caitlin Pike. Got you, thank you.
She's a beautiful young rider. She's trained by Brendan McNevin at Blair Athol. I don't think she's done too many 130s on Buzz, as he's fondly known. I think this might be their second 130 show, but these two are beautiful to watch. He's a 12-year-old gelding by Bono van der Kiekenhof out of Capital Armani. Caitlin rode that beautifully, and she kept him nice and straight through the treble. Getting there quickly on the 8. Shame, yeah. But her body position is beautiful in the air. When you watch her discipline with her upper body, she really rides beautifully. Yeah, as their second 130 show, I think she's going to be ecstatic. He's got such a big step for such a little horse. Very unlucky.
Same.
Right, so next up we have number 19, Tegan Brains riding Sarah V.
Oh, is it?
Sarah V is owned by Katja Riccardi. 14-year-old mare by Ferdy out of a numberless mare. Oh, naughty. Sarah V looking like it's napping at the gate there. Kick. No, this horse looks tough to ride. She's hot and sensitive and looks like she doesn't like to be told what to do. Like most mares. Shame. Tegan electing to retire. That horse doesn't look like a cup of tea to ride. Right, next up, number 20, Credo Larissa. Owned and ridden by Tracy Davids. Well, I'd be very surprised if these two don't go clear. They've had a great partnership for many years. She's an 11-year-old mare. She's by Callow Lissabon out of a Bambix mare. And that Bambix mare, Tracy's brother Christo and Tracy jumped successfully in JAs. Her name will come to me just now, I'm sure. A little bay mare. And they obviously bred this horse from her by Lissabon. Little black beauty. She is beautiful. And if you look at all the breeding stallions that we have in South Africa, I think the one we were working it out yesterday with the most horses competing in the open levels now is Lissabon. He's got a lot of successful progeny jumping in the 130s and up, and they're all beautiful to look at, and their attitudes seem incredible, and they're very talented, uncomplicated, beautiful, beautiful horses. Super, clear. Should have taken a bet on that one.
And now here comes your black.
Yes, yeah, next up. Okay, so that was clear round number 4 for the competition. Tracy and Larissa. And it'll be an exciting partnership to watch in the jump off. Right, so first of all, next up is Govert Triggle riding my Elegant RBFZ. This is their first 130 show together. I think he took Ellie over at the beginning of the year. It's quite a complicated technical horse, but she jumps so beautifully. She's ultra careful, and she's hopefully carbon made for him. See there, getting stuck, kicking. Her step is so massive now, he's just got to kick her through this treble. Good girl. Good, well ridden on his behalf. Joining me, sitting with me in the pound seat now, is Shayton Hendricks, our first clear round of the class.
Good morning, Ace.
Welcome, Peter. Now, thanks for joining me.
No problem.
How did that? How?
Jumping beautifully. Just a few novice mistakes.
Yeah. Gubby's riding for his life.
She looks very confident.
It's
tough riding for an owner.
Especially me. I'd try avoid him until he's ridden this horse and got it out the way. Yeah, he won't be sad with that. Yeah, no stops.
Very good round.
Ridden. Tell us, how did you find the course? I think this is a whopper.
I think I was a bit nervous coming in because I had heard no one had gone clear, and my horse is fairly new to the 130, so I was like a little bit apprehensive. But I think the thing with this course is rhythm. I got on a good rhythm, I think, from jump 1, and that set me off. And I think if you can just keep on the rhythm, the lines are really good to you. There's not too many options. You've got to do what the course builders set out to do. But it is. I think it's quite a strong 130 champs.
Yeah. Is it as strong as yesterday, or did he prep you yesterday to get you ready for today?
I think the preps come in the sense that we've seen all the fillers for the younger horses, but I definitely think we haven't had the challenging lines, and I'm not too sure what the time allowed is either, but there's nowhere where you can
Cut
do
time.
anything differently. You've got to do what he set you out to do, so I think that's the difficult task. I think this treble's riding a lot bigger because of that filler coming in.
The horses hate it.
But other than that, it actually felt really good.
Okay, so on track now we have Mandy Johnson riding number 23 Colorado Z, owned by Rachel Diamond of Witpoort. That is
Yeah, out of the
Witpoort,
Witpoort
yes.
stables.
Yeah, so
I think this horse is also fairly new to the 130s. I've seen her go up and down a bit, sometimes in the 120s, sometimes in the 130s. Is she clear so far?
she is. And the only info I have on this is that this is a 9-year-old mare.
She looks very careful. She's got a big canter.
Yeah, clear. Well done.
Well done.
Okay, excellent round there
That's
from
going to be
Mandy.
fast in the jump off.
Yes. Well, the ones that have gone clear, I mean, your me, are you going to give it a go in the jump off?
No, I'm not going to give it too much of a go. I'm not going to give it too much of a go. She's still young at this level, but I'm going to try and do my best and get a prize.
No bringing home the bacon.
No, I'll leave that one for Paige.
Currently on track, we have number 24, Callao Lucetta and Paige Lee Gooch. So, like we were saying this about the Lisbons, this is another Lisbon. He's 9 years old. He's by Lisbon out of a Cassini 1 mare. Paige bought him off the Callao auction how many years ago?
I think it's 2016, so 5 years
years.
ago. She's done a brilliant job producing this horse. It's not the easiest horse. You can see gets quite strong and he's a little bit mouthy.
And he looks big and she's little.
He's a very big horse and he's strong in his body. But he's super brave, he's super careful, and she's doing a brilliant job.
And she was in love with this horse the moment she saw him. She
Yeah.
was basically crying before the
Whoops.
auction.
Oh, well done. Whoa. See how careful he is. He
Yeah.
gets out of there like nothing.
And Paige
Paige-
is now coached by Gonda Beatrix, and obviously Chad helps her when Gonda's not here. And she's just riding like a champion.
Yeah, she jumped her first 150 yesterday, so she's over the moon. And I think another clear.
Yes, go
Yay,
Paige.
well done. She'll be happy.
Beautiful. No one more deserving either. Little Paigey pie. And Shanae will be watching her. Holding her breath.
Brilliant.
Right, next up.
Next up's Grant Langley. He's the man behind Foresyte in this show.
Oh,
This is such a cool horse.
Fly. D-I-N-J. D-L-N-J, sorry. 10-year-old mare by Balobé Durouet out of a Pavarotti Fundahela. Who was the mother of this horse?
I have no idea. I wonder if it's
think it
maybe
was-
Permelia.
One of those that he bred.
Yeah.
But she is... Oh,
She looks rather big, or maybe he's a little small.
no, I think she
But
looks
she
like
looks
a monster.
rather big.
And she's so flamboyant behind, but like as you saw at that yellow one, it catches her out sometimes.
If I'm not mistaken, she's been out of the ring lately. I haven't seen her, or he just hasn't brought her to Joburg in a while. So I'm sure Grant's just trying to find his way around here as well as he can.
Yeah, and it's thanks to Grant. He runs the Foresyte shows, and this is a Foresyte show, so he organised and put this whole thing on with Sheely Moore. I don't think it can be easy running a show,
And dealing with
watching your
everyone's
work riders.
complaints.
He's got Ryan Walbridge and Jethro riding for him, and both those young men are thriving. Right. This is Mish. There just seems to be a little bit of confusion. She's stuck in there.
There's a little bit of a...
Just having a bit of a hold up here.
Gone are the days when there were a few greys. Now it's just like one after the other. They just keep coming into the arena.
So a bit of a size difference with these
Yeah.
two greys.
Yeah. Okay, she didn't hear about that was the thing. This is also a young horse to this level, Ace?
Yeah, so this is number 25, Plastic Colors Master Batch, Way to Go, owned and ridden by Michelle Fleming. He's a 9-year-old. He's by 7 out of a Lagos mare. She imported him 2 years ago from Dave McPherson.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, he can really jump. He was off. He's been off for maybe a year. I don't want to lie.
So-
And she's been rehabbing him and bringing him back. So I think this must be his like second 130 show.
yeah, I'd say he's new to this level and he's a big horse, but Mish kind of likes the bigger horses and he looks super careful. I would say he's a little bit
Sure.
sensitive with this thing that's around his face.
The pressure hood.
Yeah, apparently it's
Um,
meant to calm horses down.
Yeah, so we were talking about it earlier with Shelley. It releases endorphins
Okay.
to calm them. So I'm sure there must be a reason for her putting it on him. But he looks quite sensitive and blood and
Yeah.
lovely for such a big horse. And she is mad about this horse. She absolutely loves him.
I think Mish does a really good job. I know she's a mom of 2. She's a wife. She works really hard in her own family business, and she's got, I think, quite a string of horses now. So she's at all the shows. She's at early morning lessons, and
She
she
is
really
the
works
first one
hard.
in that stable yard every day. Tacked up.
Oh, good
excellent.
round. Well done. She's going to be
Clear.
chuffed.
Another way
Thank
to
goodness
go.
she heard a bell.
Right, Kaylee's come back. We're going back in program order to Kaylee Trigger and Callao Casalera. Casalera is a 7-year-old mare by Callao Casperon out of a Silvio mare. And this is their first 130 show.
I think Kaylee has done an exceptional job with this horse. She's ultra careful. She can be quite spooky. And I think Kaylee's done a brilliant job giving her confidence and getting around these tracks.
Yeah, she's got that nose flap on to try stop shaking her head. She goes in a hackamore. She's
Ear
not
muffs.
everyone's, but Kaylee loves Cassie.
Well ridden into that treble. You could see the mare was having a real good look at the first filler, and Kaylee did a brilliant job getting her through there.
Yeah.
I think these poles are just a little bit of nerves from probably both of them for their first 130 champs. But
Yeah.
she's doing a brilliant job.
And something must have happened in the warm-up that they were a bit late.
She lost her shoe because actually she was the horse before me.
Yeah.
And so the horse pulled her shoe in the warm-up and then just quickly put it back on, and now she's back.
Tap, tap. Ooh. Now they settle down into
Very
their
good.
round.
You can see Kaylee just giving her a little pat there after the double just to give her a little bit of reassurance. Good shot.
She can really jump, this little horse.
I think that's a very good round for a
Beautiful,
young horse.
yes.
Super.
And once they settled down and got into their mojo, that was lovely.
Kevin must have had a bad night's sleep last night building the 130 tracks like this. I feel sorry for the World Cup tomorrow.
And he looks like such a nice guy at face
Yeah.
value.
Never judge a book by its cover.
Next up, number 27, Marilis Labuskachny riding Quiro Cappuccino. He's a 19-year-old gelding by Kiro van der Heffing.
I think Marilis trains with Bruce Dewar
Yes.
and has been for many years. She's always at every show and she kind of carries on. And
And she's not new to this level. He just didn't lift his back legs there. I think there's a lot of action happening on the side of the arena.
And
with
actually,
the
when we
yellow
walk the
Dunlop.
course, the 2 strides coming out of the treble is actually a little bit tight. But I think the strong ride in from the 6 strides before that is actually putting the horses on their noses a bit. So I think people are underestimating how short that 2 is coming out of the treble.
That's tricky course building, as if there's not enough to worry about jumping into that. This horse jumps very easily. Okay, 2 soft rails there. Looked easy.
Yeah, I think the horse was
Exactly
just
wasn't.
hacking around.
Yeah.
You can see he's quite experienced at that level. Now comes Jonathan the Maestro Clark. He rides a stallion for Tamsin Vegrostek called Oxa van der Bortenren.
Burtoren.
It's a 7-year-old, so I think that's also quite young for the 130s. But with Jono in the saddle, the horse will probably walk away with the winning sheet at the end of this.
Yes, and they obviously would have imported this horse for breeding.
Yes, I think they must have imported it from Sancho Furman in Belgium. Tamsin gets most of her horses through Sancho, and you can see Jonathan's gone inside there. I don't know how many people have gone inside to 3. He's obviously worried a little bit about the
I
time.
think Sten went in there. He was number 1, and that's the only person that's gone in there.
Jono probably thinks this horse spends a bit more time
In the air.
Oh,
Which he does.
Very good through the treble. It's the masterclass in show jumping.
I know.
There's nothing much to say about this round.
He also wondered, like, he looks so still when he rides. Is he
Yeah.
actually thinking about riding, or is he thinking about what he's going to have for lunch?
Jono did the extra one there.
Did he do 9?
Yeah, he did the extra one.
Unfortunately, landing on the back rail of the Oxa.
Could possibly be why he thought he was going to go inside to 3. Probably planned that from early on to do the inside turn there because of the extra one. When we walked it, I actually walked the distance. It walked to 38, so you could do an 8 or a 9. But I think if you can get on a good rhythm, the 8's better. But
Is that up or downhill in this arena?
downhill. It's a little bit downhill. The slope actually runs in the other direction towards the Dunlop side, but it is still down the hill.
Okay, on track now. We've got number 29, Brannix Quino de Eclipse. It says owned and ridden by Colin Ferreira.
It's a local boy from Natal. Or maybe not a boy anymore.
Thinks he is. This is an 11-year-old stallion.
Was this recent? Was that this stallion imported by Linda Rabi?
Yes, and I thought she still owned it, actually. So I don't know if they'd use him for breeding, and if he's bred anything. He's 11 years old. He's by Kidam de Rival out of a Cassini mare. I mean, he's bred beautifully. Yeah. And I think Colin has had him for a few years now.
If I'm not mistaken, Linda Rabi imported the full brother, who would have been older than this horse first, and I think he died as a young horse. So I think she then made a plan to buy the next brother.
Oh, and this was the next
and
brother.
This was the next one. I could be wrong, but that's what I think happened. People are breathing a sigh of relief that he's not clear, because if this guy's in the jump off, he's so fast.
Yeah, I think he's a ride or die guy. And
yeah.
He's not afraid of dying.
Yeah. No, he's a cat with 9 lives.
Right. Going out of program order now to number 54.
Ariana Castle rides with Charlie Crockart, and she's comes from Zimbabwe, I want to say. I could be wrong, it could be Zambia, but I think she comes from one of those two.
She does have a foreign flag.
Don't ask me what the flag looks
like. No, either.
She's a lovely junior rider.
She's had this horse for a while.
Yeah, and you see it's got a floppy ear, which is so cute. Must have had something happen to its ear. I watched. I watched this horse yesterday, and I think it's a mare. She looked very strong, and Ariana was trying her hardest to keep
And
the
Ariana's
controllers in
little.
place.
Yeah, so she's a 10-year-old mare by Brannick Hightower, out of a one-freed mare. And I think they've been together for years, these two. And you can see she knows this horse very well.
And we were talking about the horse before this, Quino with Colin. And this horse is also, well,
Oh, sit up.
whoopsie. I think she was a little bit on the
Okay.
outside line there, and the mare was kind of faced at the upright to the
upright.
left. I think she wasn't sure what she was going to jump. Oh, shame. She's gathering herself, and
That's a
Gonna
pity
get
because
going
everything else
again.
was looking very
Yeah.
easy up until there.
so yeah, this is another horse bred by Linda Rabi. Actually, Linda Rabi rode the father of this horse's mother in the 150 classes.
Winifred.
Yeah. You could see Ariana was woeing down that line, and she still did the 8. So this mare must have a lot of step.
And she is strong. She's going in a double bridle. There we go.
Good job.
Excellent job.
Pity
That's such a
about that
pity.
stop.
But that's good. Well, not good course building, but it is that now the mistakes are sort of going away from the
Yeah.
double and the treble. So
And
it
that-
does show you have to think around
Yeah.
every turn.
And that's why, like I said, when we walked the course, he hasn't given us many options. You've got to ride the line that he's given you.
Next up, number 30, Tanya Strauss, and she rides Verdant Capital's Del Mar. This is a six-year-old stallion by Star Power out of a Concord mare. So he's very young.
Tanya purchased this horse from England through Harrington Horses, and it's been a very good horse for her. She's won a lot on this horse in the 120s and even 1 or 2 130s. She trains with Dominic Alexander and Joburg, and she's fairly new to the sport because I
Yeah.
haven't seen much of her. Oh, that was
There we
careful.
go. Yes, because they didn't have a great day yesterday and they've luckily dusted themselves off and come back. He can jump, eh?
Yeah. And he goes in his own way, but he's really careful and does the job. Just wonder if she's going to get some time faults.
Did you see James Lowe's Sunpress jump?
No, he was just after me, and I wanted to see, was it good?
It was brilliant. It'll be interesting to see what you think of him as a stallion for the future.
Oh, that's a silly rail. Yeah, I know James and Dominic think a lot of that horse. Obviously, with Sunprust having passed away, the horse is very valuable as a breeding stallion.
Yeah. and
So
he-
it's wonderful to see.
I think she'll be happy with that round.
Yeah.
Very happy. That was unlucky. And I mean, that horse is only 6 years old, according to SA Show Jumping. So he's got a long,
Yeah.
lovely career ahead of him.
I think is Chicago, yeah?
No,
Doesn't
I
look
don't
like
see
it.
Chicago. Yeah. Next up, number 32, Elliot Vance with Amy Michal, owned and ridden by Amy Michal. I love this horse.
This girl is based in Natal, so she's a local girl. Who's her trainer? What's his name? It's a blank. Graham Swanson is her trainer, and she's just come up the junior ranks. I'm not too sure if she's still a junior, but she's a very, very good rider.
Very talented, competent rider. So this horse apparently used to pull carts in Germany. He's by a Scudo. He's 13 years old now, and Hilma Meyer found him on a farm somewhere pulling carts, and I think Yannick Kleinans
Yes.
then bought him, and he's just the happiest, loveliest little trying. Shame, I've jinxed him now. but
The
they.
commentators curse.
I just watched him yesterday, and he just lost his eye.
Yes, I noticed that in the practice arena yesterday, but it hasn't
Doesn't
done
seem
anything
too
for him.
phased.
Yeah, that's a pity about that rail. But
Yeah.
I was going to say she's super fast and competitive in the jump off.
Yeah, you can breathe out
Yeah.
a little bit. Oh, shame. He's maybe a bit tired today after jumping. Jumped that beautifully.
I think Amy won the class before this, the 135
She
two-face.
did on the grey.
On her other
A
horse.
new horse that she's bought from Ernst. A grey horse that is so careful. She did 5 in a 6 stride, and she just made it look ridiculous.
Yeah, the horse looks super easy and like really straightforward and got so much rideability, and she's doing a brilliant job.
Brilliant. Okay, well, that was unfortunate for Amy, so no jump off for her there.
I think next to go is Calaho Freedom with Catherine Neal. I don't want to say this is her husband's horse because what's his is hers and what's hers is hers. So it's the family's horse. Kat's a former South African champion, so she'll know where to go and what to do around here.
When did she start riding Freedom?
I think she started riding him just before the Easter show early this year, and came out at Easter and jumped the 130s and won the championship. So, yeah.
So they've so far had a short, lucrative career. SA Show Jumping says Freedom's 4. He's definitely
He's
not
definitely
4.
not forward, no. That's definitely a mistake. He's bought off one of the earlier Callow auctions by Simon Burns of Midfeeds. He's by Pharaoh, out of a Ramiro mare. Pharaoh, being fondly known as a dressage stallion, actually produced quite a lot of show jumpers. And this horse jumped the 150s. I know for sure with Barry Taylor, when the horse was still owned by Marlene Sinclair. I'm not sure if he jumped the 150s with Marlene or Sean, but he's definitely jumped the 150s before, so he'll know his way around.
He looks huge with Catherine on.
Yeah, I was going to say he looks quite strong as well.
Big step, but he jumps beautifully, and he looks like he likes her little lightweight. Oh. Yeah. well,
And
easy
watch that
peasy.
horse in the jump off turn on a ticky.
Yeah. No, that was the easiest clear round probably. No offense. He has jumped 150s. That was beautiful to watch. Just a Sunday hack around there.
Yeah. Showing us how it's done.
Okay, next up we have number 34. Tamar Glixman owns and rides Calaho Con Alma. Can this horse be 6 years old?
No, she's probably 7.
Yeah.
She's probably turning 7 in this year, but she is a young horse. I think she's probably, maybe this is her second 130 championship. Might even be her first. It's a classy horse.
Yeah, this we have lessons with her, and I mean Tam does work hard on her horses and her riding, but this was how she jumped that vertical is just she's beautiful. She's very spunky mare, like bucks and plays, and I think Tam works hard to keep her disciplined.
And she's by Concoriano.
Yes.
She's out of a For Joy mare, who's
Jeez.
actually called Faruna Graphene, and who's out of Alm Graphene. And Ace, you guys actually have the Larison sister.
Oh, that was just a green mistake.
And
Yes.
this, I think the dam line in this is just something really special. So I think Tam will be very, very happy to have this horse in her string.
Yeah. This.
Wow.
Just digs deeper and jumps higher.
Yeah. And she's this delicate little thing. Looks like a little ballerina.
Tamar.
Con Alma.
Oh, that was a
You're
pity.
gonna get
That
me in
was
trouble
just
here
such
with
a
Tamar.
green mistake on the back rail, but beautifully ridden by Tam.
Yeah.
And beautifully jumped by that mare. And she's also very exciting to look out for the future.
We were talking about the slope of this arena earlier, and this number 6 going up the hill is quite a big jump for the horses because they're jumping it off quite a dead turn up the hill. the plank with younger horses would have given them a bit of time to back themselves off, and I think she just found the back rail because of that.
Yeah, so it looks like a little slopey 130 oxer, but it's
But
probably
it's actually
riding
much bigger to
much
ride.
bigger. Next up, number 35. We have Armageddon, ridden by Stenek Muchner, owned by the Zensuni stud, which is Karen Popolado. So Armageddon is a 16-year-old gelding by Acrobat out of a Kalido mare. And this is his first show back, is it?
Yeah, he had a small accident last year at Burlington Cup, which set him back a bit. He was flying in the Burlington Cup and was actually clear in the first round, and then they just had a second guess in the jump off, and the horse just made a bit of a mistake. And yeah, this is his first proper show back. Sten loves this horse. He says the horse loves to jump, and he's a little bit older now, and he just wants him to stay at this level and have some fun and just enjoy the jumping again.
Yeah, I mean, when this horse was in his prime, he did look like a dream animal.
Yeah,
that was Domini.
This horse jumped around the Derby
Beautiful
first with
3D.
Paul Hart.
Yes.
Then he jumped around the Derby, I think, with Ronnie Lawrence. He is a former President's Cup winner with Dominic Alexander.
Yeah, so I mean, he's
So
very
he's-
decorated. Oh, easy. That's what you'd expect from
Very, very good.
the horse and rider.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Clear. Easy peasy clear. They're going to give it a go in the jump off.
Yeah, they're going to be
For
fast.
sure.
Do we have a rake break now? Or yeah.
All right, okay,
There's a
we're
rake
going to
break.
quickly go to a rake break. And then we will commence with number 36, Carlito and Ryan Wallbridge.
Yes, I was about to say, surely you need to put a big belly.
There'll probably be big holes in the bloody track from spinning and what do they call that? Drifting. Eh? Duncan? You? That's what I say, yeah.
How can it be difficult?
I don't think fine.
That's true. What you do, take it to the place.
No, but they want that
We are back. How do I turn the mic on? Is it on? Okay, so we are back in action with number 36, Carlito in, owned by Michelle Lillico and written by Ryan Wallbridge. They've had an amazing show. Carlito's new to Ryan's string. Michelle's owned him for about 4 or 5 years now. He was imported, I think Liam imported him from Hans-Jorn Ottens. And now it's great to see him in the open grade. It's very soft pole there. Oh, Bianca's in Ryan's way to the last jump. Ryan's already shouted. Oh, there we go. Ryan is a very cool, composed young man, and he is an absolute gentleman of note. And my co-announcer, Shaitan, is back. 8 penalties there for Ryan and Carlito. I don't think he'll be sad. I think it's like their second or third 130 show, and he's only had the horse for a few weeks, maybe a month. Next up, Bianca Pitt owns and rides Callao Leodara, another Lisbon in the class, by Lisbon out of an Esprit mare, and she is 7 years old. I think Bianca shipped her off to Chris after the auction, after buying her off the auction to be produced a little bit.
Yeah, that's correct.
And now she's got it back. She's a beautiful looking, she's a beautiful looking horse.
Oh, that's a silly rail to have. I think the
How
mare
many
was looking
130s?
at that blue plank straight afterwards.
How many 130s has this horse jumped?
She did her first 130 the week before Stocky's dry. So I think she's probably done a handful of actual 130 classes, not even shows, before this. So this champs will definitely be a
She's got a
bit of a step up.
beautiful jump. She's exceptional behind.
Yeah. She's very careful, this horse. She's got a very big stride for a slightly littler horse. Bianca's a very good junior rider. She's the current South African junior champion. She also trains with Chad Cunningham in Joburg. And I think she's going to head off to the States in a few months' time to go study.
Yeah, I believe that Bianca's extremely bright. I love the way she rides. I think she looks like she's doing equitation, plus she's effective, plus she's very competitive.
She's very fast.
I don't think she knows how to come second or go slowly.
Yeah, no.
Which is, it's really cool to see. She's a spunky chick.
This is such a good round apart from number one.
Number one, that's Murphy though.
That was a brilliant round.
Beautiful. I think she will be happy. Daddy will be happy. Great round.
Next to
up.
go, another Triggle. God, they're all over the
place.
show. This is a new horse for Tom,
Yes,
am I right? They just
yes.
imported it from Europe, from Ernst also.
Yeah, next up is Thomas Triggle riding Finale U. She's been out of quarantine now for what, 6 months?
If that.
If that. She's an 8-year-old mare by Dollar de la P. I think this is her first 130 show in her life as well.
Yeah.
This
is a novice mistake.
Novice, but Thomas loves her and Govard loves her.
There's no better jockey to take her around her first 130.
Yeah.
Thomas is a very good rider, also who we're going to lose to Europe in the next few months.
Yeah, his horse is ready and waiting for him there. I think he'll go try to do a few tours, well ridden. His horse is a little bit spooky.
She had a little look there.
And it hasn't, like, if you think about it, these horses haven't come into the arena on the same conditions every day. One day, the
No,
lights
they
are
almost jumped
on.
under lights. The next day it was
Yes.
cold and windy.
The weather, yeah. So it's either been overcast and shadowy.
And also that plank at the treble we haven't seen. That's a new plank that he's brought out.
Yeah, I think
So the
someone's
horses haven't seen it yet. And you can just see the slightly novice ones and a bit more nervous ones are taking note of it more than anything.
Well ridden, Tom. Yeah, now the mare's settling down nicely into the course.
Yeah, I think Tom will be
Good,
happy
well
with
ridden.
that. That was a good round. It's also a young mare.
And I think she looks fun. Like,
Yeah, and she looks quite game actually. I know she had a look going into the treble, but she still kept on going.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Like that. Okay, next up we have number 40, Corland, owned and ridden by Olivia van Rooyen. So this is a 14-year-old gelding by Vincenzo out of a Nairobi mare. Where does this young rider come from, Peter? Tell us about her.
She's also in Natal. She's a very, very, very good young rider. She's got a great string of horses that they acquired through Richard Bourne and Carla Garton. So she's trained with Chad Cunningham. Chad comes down here and trains her, I think, every 2-3 weeks. And while she doesn't have Chad, Jenna Barrow helps her. She recently won the 135 young rider or junior class at the Outdoor Grand Prix on her other horse. Yeah, she's, like I say, a very, very, very good rider. She's very effective. She's super stylish.
Super stylish. She rides beautifully.
And she's very hardworking and diligent.
How old is she?
She can't be, I think she must be 16 at the most.
Yeah.
I don't think she's older than that.
I mean, she looks like she's not doing much, but I think she's very effective.
Yeah, that's a clear round.
Beautiful rider. Well done.
Very,
I knew
very
she was
good
going to go
round.
clear.
Very good round.
Super. Beautiful to watch. Okay, so let's see. Shandy's going to go before Kate. There we go, number 42, Callahoo for Tasca, owned and ridden by Shandy Marshall. 9-year-old mare by Ford Joy out of a Kidam's Reuben mare. She couldn't have jumped many 130s either.
No, she went into the 130s at the end of last year. And also Shani doesn't do all the big shows, so I think the mare's not that experienced in the ring.
Yeah. I remember Shandy when she bought this horse off the auction, they didn't pay huge amounts of money for her. And this was her dream horse.
And it's a mare, it's very careful, it's quite quirky. You can see all the sheepskin headgear. I think she does a very good job with her. And she's produced her herself, which is also great.
Yeah, she's produced her herself. And I know Shandy was in Europe with Govett and Lisa for a bit when they were campaigning.
Yeah,
Not riding, she went over to groom. But she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's a hard-working girl. I think this is just the mare getting a bit tense, these poles.
Yeah, I don't think they've got too many miles, Shandy or the horse. But I mean, good, well done.
Yeah, she's got through it.
Totally. Okay, next up we've got number 41, Gladiator, owned and ridden by Caitlin Lepart. He is a 10-year-old gelding by Andiamo out of a Riverman mare. She found Gladiator, I think, through Richard Bourne's.
In Ireland.
Yes, and they went first, and met them there, and we found Elijah on the same trip.
Okay, so also new to this.
Yeah, so she had such a beautiful relationship with him, and then he just hurt himself, so he's been off for a while in a freak accident, and this is their first big show back, and I love watching them.
She had a lovely round yesterday in the two phase, and she just had a silly touch of the wall,
Last jump.
the last jump, and but otherwise a very good round. I see she's taking the longer way around to number 4.
I think he also covers ground nicely, and he gets quite strong. Oh. He jumps easily.
I think there's definitely a big step up from the 120s to the 130s. I don't know if it's more so in the riders than the horses, but I think 130s you feel like you trying to swim half the time.
Yeah, I think you go from the B arena with no fillers to technical. Every single line you have to think and ride. To every single jump basically has fillers.
Yeah, and just the atmosphere of being in the main arena. Oh, we had a little look. Oh.
Yeah, he looked down in the last stride there.
Tried his best to clear it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you go from sort of 5 people, that your mom and your auntie watching you, to everyone's taken a weekend out. Well ridden there. I don't think too much will phase Kate or Gladiator.
It's been a good building round.
Yeah,
given the horse. Oh, shame, that's just rattled her a little bit. Shame, that's a pity, because it was actually quite a nice round apart from the element at number 4 falling.
There we go. Yeah, they've just got to get back into the swing of things again.
Yeah.
But luckily there's still a few more shows and they'll find their rhythm. I have no doubt. Okay, next up we have number 43. Lorette Knowles-Taylor owns and rides Volkscoach Sahara, or Winnie as she's fondly known. Everyone I'm sure knows this horse from Instagram and Facebook.
She's having a little look at number 1.
She is quirky Sahara.
Namibian quirk.
Yeah, so she's a 9-year-old mare. She's by Consuelo out of a Glückscup mare. So she's bred in the purple. She doesn't look like the biggest horse ever, but she is very talented.
Yeah, she's a lovely horse. She wants to be careful. She has such a lovely expression when she goes to the fence. And she was produced by Kirsten Wynn. And I think Kirsten did a brilliant job bringing this horse up the grades. And I think it's added to Lorette's string wonderfully.
Yeah, Law loves this horse. I think she feels like she can do anything on her. And this horse has kicked into another level.
She's having a good round.
She doesn't look like she's too worried about the time.
No. I don't think the time's that tight, actually. I thought he could have maybe made it a bit tighter by the looks of it. I don't think anyone's got a time fault yet.
I think there's enough challenges in here to worry about in the time. And that is kind of him to not put pressure on the time. Oh, woohoo! Let's see what they say about the time. Clear all the way for Lorette and Sahara, so they'll be joining you in the jump off. And that was beautiful, easy, beautiful round to watch. Okay, so next up, we've got number 44, Kerry Muir, rides Flamenco, who is owned by David Schneiderman. Oh, so bonking out number 1 unnecessarily. This is a 16-year-old gelding by Peter Pan.
That's a retirement from Kerry. She just put up her hand.
Okay, so Kerry's decided, yeah, he looked a bit spooky and bonked
Tomorrow's
out
another
number
day.
1. Choosing to retire there.
So next up is another Callao horse called Callao Casco Grey. It's owned and ridden by Jodie Peters, another Natal girl. She bought this horse off the auction. and it's been a great horse for Jodie, and she's done a wonderful job producing it. It's by Casperon, out of a mare called Apache Bay, who's an Argentinus Bold Indian, if I'm not mistaken. Casperon you'll see tomorrow jumping in the World Cup with Carl Bonzaya. And yeah, I actually rode this horse on the auction, and he was quite a spooky horse as a young horse, but now he looks super brave with Jodie. Another one that has number 1. I don't know what that is. I don't know if the younger horses are just looking at the
There's
Quille.
flower pots in
planks.
front of the jump. So maybe they're looking down into those
Could
pots.
be.
Because they look a bit out of place there.
A shame.
He looks a bit tired and I think overwhelmed
Yeah.
by all of the stuff happening here. It's got a beautiful canter though. The Casperons are quirky. They seem quirky, but they seem
Yeah.
game.
It'll be good for this horse to just get through the course because it's super mileage for him.
Exactly.
I think in Natal there's not that many big shows, and I think this horse just needs the miles.
Yeah, and these, I mean, just to get around on a young horse here, sounds ridiculous, but it's not everyone's here in the class to win the class. Like,
No.
some people do come in here, so it's the first time the horse jumps the rainbow jump. It's the first time it's
Yeah.
these sort of lines in the
Yeah.
arena. And the next time she comes out, I'm sure then you'll focus more
Yeah.
on getting a clear. Yes, he's got a big canter.
Yeah, covers a lot of
Jump
ground. He's
that
so
beautifully.
scopy.
No, he just needs time.
It's good that she carried on.
Didn't batter either
No,
at anything.
no, it doesn't look at a single thing.
Okay, so next up we've got Anya Mola, number 47, riding Baltimore Bellarossa. She owns and rides this pretty little chestnut horse.
I think it's by Burfraff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. 9-year-old mare by Burcraft out of the Ramirez Fury mare. Oh, cheeky.
Anya actually rode the mother. Her name was Ramona.
Oh.
And I think she jumped the horse in the 140s. I'm not too sure if it jumped
That was
some
a great
150s,
horse.
but
That
it was
was
a very good horse for her. And the Anya used to be Anya Meyer, and the Meyer family bought over the Alzu stud some time ago. And I think they had a small breeding operation out in the south of Joburg. And obviously Ramona went into breeding afterwards, and this is one of her daughters.
This horse wants to be careful if you look at her and how she jumps.
Anya does a brilliant job with her. She's quite quirky. You see there's a red ribbon in her tail. In the practice arena, she's often giving her quite a lot of grief. She
Chestnut
sometimes
haze.
doesn't want to get to the jumps, and she's a bit funny with her head. But Anya does a really good job. She used to have a Optimum mare called Orissa, who she jumped in the World Cups and Derbies, who was just as quirky, went in her own way. So I think Anya will definitely
it.
make something of this horse.
I think Anya's good with the quirky ones. By
Yeah.
the sounds of it, who's the horse she jumps in the 150s?
Lombard.
He bucked off twice in a lesson the other day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there she's patting her horse, so she's not devastated by
happy.
that.
It's also new to the 130s levels.
Okay, scratching at 48. Next up, we got number 49, Capital Carlisle, owned and ridden by Tamar Glixman.
Is this her third horse in the class?
This is her third horse in the class, but she hasn't jumped Cosmo yet.
Oh, was he not one of the first? I thought he was one of the first horses to jump.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, he had a pole.
No problem.
He's one of my favorite horses. That's why I thought I would remember him. Okay, so this is her third horse in the class. Capital Carlisle, recently acquired. 11-year-old gelding by Consuelo out of a Capriccio mare. Yo, he can jump.
Yeah, this horse is super scopy. He has a wonderful, wonderful canter.
From From what I picked up yesterday, he's been through a few riders, and Tam gets the best tune out of him. I mean, she's got him kicked into another gear. And hopefully this is her next horse for the big stuff.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Tam obviously has high hopes for this horse for the big time, so this is all about getting a relationship with the two of them and building up the grades.
He had a good look there, and she rode. She
I
got him
think
through there
Tamar's
with those
adamant
little
she's
legs.
going to get this to clear round.
If anyone can be adamant, it's Tamar.
I just love. He just looks like
jumps.
he's a rocking horse. Like this canter and everything just looks.
Lovely, and I mean, he jumps so easily. He's not even jumping yet.
One more jump from your clear round, Tamar.
Oh,
I think I gave her the commentator's curse. She's going to be gutted with that.
Tamar. My heart actually
Gutted with
bleeds
that.
for her because she
Shame,
rode that
man.
so well, and that was the only jump the horse wasn't spooking at. Well done, Tam. Though I think that
I think
She's
she's
gonna
going to
be
be
very excited
bittersweet
about
there.
him.
She's going to be very happy with that, but also I think she would have loved to have been in the jump off.
so. We had 49 horses so far, and we have 7 clears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 clears.
Shit.
So I mean, okay, back in the program order to number 22, Tackentog's Hillview Paddy, owned by Lawrence Mowat, who is campaigning in Europe, and ridden by Ariana Castle, who we saw earlier on her chestnut horse.
This is also an Irish bred horse. He can't be that young anymore. He's definitely not a spring chicken. But he's won some classes in his time with Lawrence. And I think Ariana's got the ride now while Lawrence is overseas. And I know Lawrence loved this horse and just had so much fun riding him. So I think it must be the same for her.
Yeah, so this SA show jumping does tell me that he's 19 years old now.
He could very well be.
And he's had a wonderful career.
Doesn't look 19.
I think he's brought a lot of people joy.
Yeah.
And Laurie's mom's here watching her other child go around. It's very cute.
Yeah.
Margaret, she's still staying very involved, keeping an eye. Oh, he jumped that well.
She rode that line very well.
Canters around with such a lovely look on his face.
Good job. Shame, that was...
That was a nice
Lucky.
mileage for Ariana.
Yeah.
Next up, number 50. My personal favourite young rider, Ashley Amy Taylor. And she is riding Equestrian Affairs Farnham Elite Rhythm, fondly known as Ellie. And I know Ash has a very big soft spot for this little horse. She is an 11-year-old mare by Udokes out of a final top mare. Rhythm of the Wind was her mother, who Lorette jumped in the 150s. And they used Udokes to breed this little horse, and then gave it to their daughter.
Ash just seems to have sprouted up in the last couple of years, and her riding has come on so much. She was just a little tiny tot 2 years ago, going around here on her little pony. Was it Rolly Brown Eyes?
Rolly Brown Eyes, yes.
And now she's jumping in the main arena in the 130, and even I saw her earlier in the 135s. So
No, this girl can ride. That's what they were saying last night, is that she got the best of both worlds. She got mom's talent and dad's talent, and her temperament is to die for. I don't think too much can get this chick flustered.
I think it must be wonderful for Bear and Lorette to have their daughter ride at the same shows as them.
Oh,
And
man.
she does a brilliant job. Very, very,
Yeah,
very
until
good.
she starts taking their prize money,
Yeah.
which is looking like it's going to happen.
Very good. Barry with his fist pump at the gate there, he's over the moon.
Yeah, where she lacked showing emotion, the dog was bouncing up and down at the gate.
It's so nice to see.
Beautiful. That's going to be exciting for the jump off. Hey, next up, Steen on his third ride. Number 51. He's riding for his wife, Kirsty Muchner, Lord Jack. Lord Jack is a 12-year-old gelding by Lord Z, out of a Davenport Peter Pan mare. I know that Kirsty actually bred this horse, so I think he was one of their first foals. He's little, but he can jump. He's blind in his left eye. I think he was born with being blind in that eye. It doesn't seem to affect him at all. Or just getting a bit quick through the double, treble.
Shame, he just jumped in quite strong at the
Where's he going?
treble
Oh.
there. I think he's
Do you think he's
retiring.
done that on purpose?
Yeah, I think he's retiring. He doesn't look tired after 3 days of jumping, eh?
No. He
Looks quite fresh.
he just chose his own line out of the king.
Yeah. And
Hard at his riding.
I think him landing up with Grant Langley has done him the world of good, and I know he will say that for himself. But Jethro's riding is he's matured, and it's just he's also another stylish guy. He gets on a good rhythm. He rides tricky horses. It's so nice to see.
So, sorry, this is number 52, Rathmore Coupe de Coeur, ridden by Jethro Bauer and owned by Courtney Webber. He's a 7-year-old gelding by Casper out of an all-fired up mare, which is thoroughbred.
Thoroughbred.
And like you say, this guy rides, you saw him earlier on a very difficult horse. Now he's come out on a hot thoroughbredy horse.
Yeah.
So he is learning how to ride everything.
And he always keeps his cool. You never see Jethro losing his patience, and he'll come out smiling after having a pole down. He just loves the sport,
And he seems like he's got a cool personality,
Yeah.
character. He
and
is a
you'll
very
see
big
him on
character.
Instagram posting dancing videos and all funny things.
Sponsored by Equestrian Affair. Yeah. And he rides light. He looks like a big guy, but he just rides with feel, and he rides so lightly. He's beautiful. It wasn't a terrible round. 12 penalties, but smooth and easy. Frustrating more than anything. 2.
So next to go is number 53. It's Callahoo Bolzano de Quincy. It's owned by the Callahoo Warmblood Stud and ridden by Gareth Neal. This stallion is so exciting. He was produced by Bryce McCall, and Bryce then handed over the reins to Gareth, and Gareth only recently had this horse, I think, this year, and they're putting a wonderful partnership together. He's an French Anglo-Arab stallion, which is quite interesting. So he's got a lot of blood. He's quite a character himself, but I think this horse and Gareth suit each other down to the ground. Like, Gareth knows him so well already, and the horse is super extravagant over the jumps, as you can see. He's super careful. He just lacks the experience in the main arena.
Yeah, it looked like he totally got distracted.
Yeah, and I think with stallions it's difficult also to keep their focus on the jumps. And what we must also remember is these 130 horses have not had a day's break.
No, they've done 3 days in a row.
They've jumped 3 days in a row. Some of them did the warm-up class on Wednesday, so it's 4 classes. And for young horses, it's a lot of jumping. So
how many 130s has the stallion jumped?
I can't exactly say, but I would assume about 10 at the most, if that.
Because we go to every show, and until Gareth took over the ride, we had never seen him. And I
Yeah.
think the Bolzanos that he's bred,
Wow,
I mean, how he
jumped
jumped
that.
that was beautiful. And his progeny are so flamboyant and flashy.
Yeah. I
that
think
he's
those
a
are just
very-
novice mistakes. Yeah, I think the horse, we often saw him at places like Burlington and the Odd Kip show, one-day shows. I don't think he's been to an away show. This must be his first. And he's just taking it in his stride.
And he's beautiful.
Yeah, he's this
Shiny
rich
chestnut with
chestnut.
big white face. I mean, he's like looks like a dream horse.
Yeah.
Aiden's busy shouting at somebody for going out of order.
Yeah, Brittany's actually supposed to go after Kaylee. So I think on program now we have Belandro with Brittany Dutoy, and she owns and rides Belandro.
Yeah. So Belandro is a 15-year-old gelding by Calandro out of a Shalano mare. She's had this horse for years, hey?
She's had this horse for quite a long time.
Yes.
He's quite a big horse. He goes with his head up. And I think she loves him. He's such a trier.
He also looks quirky. He always
Yeah.
gives a kick and
Yeah.
ears back.
And Brit's very competitive. she goes for the win all the time.
That upright is causing. Do you think
If
they're
it's not that
overthinking it?
upright, it's
the
this
treble.
treble. So I don't know if I think it's more that upright's more got to do with the riders.
And she also
Um,
went around to it.
Yeah. I actually, when I walked the course, I thought the inside line would be easier because it just pushes you to the left of that upright a little bit, which gives you a bit of space to actually get cantering down to the treble and stay straight. I think I thought if I'd gone round to number 4, that it would push me on the inside line. Not to say that that was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, but
Worked for you.
it just seemed to be.
That's the thing when you hit open show jumping grades. I don't think you can just wing it anymore. Miss
No.
your course walk.
No.
Arrive at number 40 if you're number 60.
And
You-
also,
I mean,
everyone walks differently, and you've got to walk the course for the horse you're going to ride. Some horses are short stepping, some aren't. So I think it's important to know what horse you're riding.
Yeah. So they finish on a total of 16 penalties.
So next to go is now we're going to go back up to Callahoo, Lisa Bell, and Kaylee Triggle. This is probably one of my favorite horses on the circuit at the moment. She's a very, very beautiful mare. It's owned by the Callahoo Warmblood Stud. And also very new to the 130s. She's by...
So first 130 show.
Oh, you see, she's by Lissabon as well, out of an Alligator Fontaine mare, and it goes back to Libero H. And
Sure.
this horse has all the jump. She's careful. She's got everything. She just needs the miles now. And again, Kaylee's doing a wonderful job. She gets jumped out the saddle.
Yeah, we've seen so many Lissabons in this course already. I mean, this is one of the really special
Yeah.
Lissabons. Just
a
green,
novice mistake
totally
again.
novice. But I mean, this horse is a real fighter. She's trying to look at the
At
jumps
the
and
side
suss
of the
it out,
arena as well.
but it knows its job is to go forward and jump.
I think often with the younger horses, when they look into jumps, they forget to open up behind. There she was so much better over the spur wing when she was a bit more relaxed. And it's very intimidating for young horses to jumps alongside of the arena. So I think that treble's also backing them up. There's all that yellow Dunlop sponsorship there. Wow, how
Jumps
she
it
jumped
so
out of there.
easily. She loves to show off behind as well. This horse is, she's quick in front, huge behind, and when she puts all the pieces together
Wow.
like that, just a spectacular, beautiful animal. Yeah,
Kaylee will be very happy with that.
very happy. I think it's stressful taking a horse from
Yeah.
that gap between 120
The
to
120 to
130.
130s is a big gap. Okay, Ace, I'm going to talk you through Capital Vegas's round, and then I'm going to head off to get ready for the jump off.
What is your strategy going to be for the jump off?
My strategy, she's new to the 130s,
Yes.
so I'm going to obviously do the jump off for experience more than anything else. I'm not going to try and go for the deadly win, but try and be as competitive as possible. I think it's good for the horses to learn from an early age to be competitive, and not just when they get to the bigger classes like the 140s and 150s. So I'll try 1 or 2 turns, but I won't go mad.
Marvelous. Well, I'll be shouting on the
Thank
inside.
you. Thank
So,
you.
currently on track number 57, James Lowe riding Capital Vegas. Wow, he jumped that beautifully.
Yeah.
This is also, so he's a 9-year-old stallion by Vesuvius out of an Armitage mare. It's his first 130 show as well. James has had this horse for a while. You'll know better than me.
Yeah, James got this
Jeez.
horse off the auction, and it was bred by the Capital Stud. And as you can see, it's an extremely careful horse. It jumps with super technique. It's very flashy. It's a stallion, and what comes with stallions is sometimes they have a bit too much self-preservation. So when they have a lot of care, like this horse does, you've got to be very good at putting them in the right spot, which James does a brilliant job with. And
He's well ridden,
yeah.
but like there you go, you've got to be quick
Yeah.
to react.
And I think James is building up a nice string of horses again. He was a rider that jumped in the 150s for many years with with a nice horse of his called Leroy.
Leroy Brown.
Clear. And he's
Well
been
done,
building up a
James.
partnership since. So I think he's very happy with what he's got. Okay.
Right, good luck,
That's me.
Shayton. Thank you. You are first to go in the jump off. No pressure. Just go for a clear and put the pressure on them. Right, next up we have number. Just want to make sure we're in the right order. Right, currently on track. Out of program order. Sorry, number 59, Jenna Barrow riding Midas Touch Ultima. Owned by Clodagh Shaw. This is an 8-year-old mare by Umeno. Out of a Winter Star mare. Jenna Barrow's a beautiful rider. Jumping in the 150. I mean, she's jumped in the 150s for a few years now. Trained by Gonda. Recently engaged. And she's very composed and professional and effective. And she's a great jockey. Unfortunately, I think just the one down there. Okay, next up we've got number 60, Reflection. Ridden by Michelle Hobbs and owned by Alta van Vuren. Michelle's. Okay. This is a 14-year-old gelding by Rex Grannis out of a Lindenberg mare. So actually beautifully bred by famous South African lines. And Reflection's mom is pregnant, and that's why Michelle is riding him. Getting very quick. Whoa. He's about to get his legs out the way. Reflection doesn't look very easy to ride. He's getting very strong and diving down into Michelle's hands. and he's getting quite a hot little thing. He's very quick to get his legs out the way. So they finish on the 8 penalties. Aiden's asking Michelle if her arms are still intact because he looked like a strong little bugger. Okay, next up we've got number 61, Rubber Sealant, Casino Royale, owned and ridden by Nicola Sam Riley. She is a 12-year-old mare by Cosinus out of a Granus mare. She's beautiful. I stand to be corrected. Nicola bought her from Ronald Gilbert. She can really jump. She's talented. And I think she is quite a quirky mare. That's why she's suited to Nicola. And I know that Nicola's excited about her partnership with this mare. This mare's also looking a little bit flat. And maybe still a little bit green at this level.
He'll clear those fence from his hand, so that's not strong enough. Yeah.
Yeah, she just looks a bit tired because it's definitely unlike her to be having so many poles. And Nicola's probably just wanting her to see the finish to get so that she has one more tough 130 track under her belt. She jumped that beautifully. It's always a bit disappointing when your championship, you've had such a nice show and your championship rounds don't go that great, because ultimately that's what you're building up towards. But that's the toughness of show jumping. Next up, number 62, Dante Kidam, owned by Linda Stainton and ridden by Ryan Wallbridge. This is a 7-year-old gelding by Diamant de Semele out of a Kidam de Reval mare. So he's bred beautifully. I think Brian knows that line off by heart now, after doing it twice. Like Shayton said, it's a bit tight coming out of that 2-stride after having a forward stride in, which is very testing of the course builder.
But I think this is the horse's first show in the 130 as well. Really? But the other two New Zealand horses
Okay, Ryan finishing on 12, a total of 12 there, giving his horse a little pat through the finish. So he's obviously not disappointed by that round. Next up, number 65, Vermate and Thermal Mads, Shadowfly, owned by Cry Comfort and ridden by Annalise Comfort. Shadowfly is a 13-year-old gelding by Shiraz. He's had a great show. I think he's picked up tickets in both his classes so far. Hannelee's a very competitive, brave rider. She's jumping, competing successfully in the 150 level. New to it. I think she's been there for nearly a year now, and she comes home with the rosette after every show. Sure. This horse still looks like he's got lots in the tank. He's giving the jumps nice air, and she keeps him going very forward. Oh, let's see. Oh, clever boy, clear round. Very clever horse. Getting his back legs out the way there. Clear round number 15 for the competition. Okay, on track now we have number 64, Zambezi Z, owned and ridden by Joanne Roberts. He is an 18-year-old gelding by Zandor Z out of a Cartago mare. I think Joe's had him for a few years now. Dominique jumped him around a 150 Riders Grand Prix, jumped clear. He's also going in a compression helmet. I think everyone's got their personal preferences on the compression wraps. These two are very cool to watch. They know each other very well. Oh, and up. And he just tries his little heart out. And we all need horses like those. Yeah, well done, Joe. Just the one down for Zambezi and Joanne Roberts. Right, up next, the bell has gone for number 67, Eagles Liqueur, owned and ridden by Gabby Lubner. Liqueur is a 9-year-old mare by Lassiter out of the Ramirez Fury mare. She is super flashy and beautiful, and Gabby has done a great job producing her. I think they're both still relatively new to the 130s, and Gabby's been persistent with this mare, and now she's starting to reap the rewards. I think she just focuses on trying to give her a beautiful ride every time out. Oh, not. Maybe a bit too passive up on the 6. And Liqueur just taking a bit of fizzling out there.
You want to get a bet? Hey? What about Kate? No beer. No.
Now the shadows have also totally changed from the first horse that jumped. Come on, Gabs. Oh, no, Liqueur not having any of it.
There's no problems at this.
Not always easy riding complicated mares. Okay. Next up is number 66, Assegai Storyteller, owned and ridden by Tossie Rayner. Storyteller is a 15-year-old gelding by Supreme out of a gratuity mare. So that's also famous South African warm blood breeding. I mean, gratuity was probably one of the first stallions to come in. And there are a lot of lovely Supremes going around.
Just trying to, the mom's going, taking a lot of strain.
And obviously Tossie has had this horse for basically his whole life, I think, and a few riders in between when she's trying to recover from her back. And it's nice to see Tossie's building up quite a big client base again, getting clients back in show jumping, up in the open grades, and they're all doing very well, so it's very cool to see. She waited on the 9 there. Easy peasy for him. Also got a compression helmet on. Oh, okay, no surprise there. Beautiful clear round. Right, next up we have number 68, Air Holidays Piccadilly D. It's owned by Karenza Hunter and Air Holidays and ridden by Kayla Brains. Formerly used to be the ride of Shaitan. I think he jumped him successfully up to the 140s. And then I think he went to retire and looked miserable. So Karenza brought him back into show jumping, and now he's lucky enough to have Kyla riding him around. And they're just having a lovely time, traveling, jumping, and enjoying each other. So very easy Piccadilly. He knows his job. He's such a lovely horse. He is getting a bit old now. He's a 16-year-old gelding. He's by Davenport Peter Pan out of an acclaimed mare. Sure. Oh. Very easy clear round. Beautiful clear for Kyla and Piccadilly. So I think Karenza will be very happy with that. Right, next up, number 70. Foresyte Beto and Jeff Robauer, owned by Shelley Ann Moore. He's a 7-year-old gelding, also by Berlioz, out of a Nintendo mare. Whoa, Jethro doing 7 up there, paying the price, bonking out the front rail. Those jump beautifully through the treble. Up. Jumped that oxer beautifully. Very lucky. Jethro's actually having to ride quite hard. So he's obviously a bit green, this horse. Well, yeah, no, they're having miscommunication there. There we go. Now Jethro's got him back on his side. Finishing off beautifully. Right, 2 horses left. 3 horses left to go. There's someone going, but it's not Jason Slade. Okay, so on track now, we've got number 72, Davenport Rant and Rave, owned by Michelle Clintworth and ridden by Rebecca Clintworth. Right, she's very positive. This is a lovely horse. He's forward going. He looks like he's a seasoned campaigner. He just locks onto the jump and goes. He jumps in a beautiful way. Sure. Geez, like amazing clear. That's going to be one to watch for the jump off. That was exceptional.
That was more rave than rant. Good round. Clear. Through to the jump off. That makes 17 clears. Jason Slade next to go. Mozart von Ekenhoff, 69.
Him to wake up. This is also a very new partnership. This is the newest addition to Jason's string. And I think he's just building to jump much bigger and better things in the future. This Mozart is an 8-year-old gelding by Iron Man out of a Camus mare, who I'm sure they would have bought from Sancho. Super riding from Jason. He also is just grown up so much and he's so talented and hardworking. That was such a pity. Beautiful to watch. Well done, Jay. I think he'll be happy with that. No, that's good. Thank you. Right, so that is it for now. I think we're waiting for the jump off. No, sorry, one more rider to come. Who's walking through the arena on her feet. I don't quite know what's going on here. Anyways. She's just quickly walking her course as there was a little bit of confusion earlier. And she's the last horse to go in the class.
know, because once I did here, yeah. No, it also looks like okay, what is the game like?
Right, so we're back and ready for action. Last horse to go in the 130 Dunlop Adult Championships is Robin Amber Shaw, and she's riding Lawlock Cavalier. She's riding for Jackie Smith.
The older you get, you understand.
And good luck, Rob.
You're from around the area? Oh, okay. But you also got horses. Is it?
He's from Grant Lang.
She's also a beautiful rider, and she's come on so much over the last sort of 2 years. That horse looking at the shadows behind the jumps there.
Every day jumped about 7 horses on behalf of people. Seems to be doing okay.
Sure, he's got a spectacular jump, Lawlock Cavalier.
Yeah.
He is by Captain Chilano Z out of a Blessings mare.
So people want, obviously their horses to be brought on. It's got a bit too feisty.
You have to ride him. Sheesh, this horse is ultra careful. Doesn't look very experienced at this level, but he's really, he can really jump.
Not
And I think he's a 9-year-old gelding.
in fact, in the air, it looks so graceful. Yeah. I can't believe it. No, I just think it's amazing. The rider has got to control the 700-800 kilogram horse.
And you know what? What
Big
really
kick.
gets me is
Yeah.
they need to take the steps between the...
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
And also, there's a whole lot of technical from. When you say that, you mean the riders?
Yeah, the riders, they're going to see how many steps are between the...
Because it depends on the
Sure, there we go. That was very unlucky.
leg of the
Just
horse.
the number 2 coming down, but I think he jumps up and looks into the poles.
Horse trained with it.
So, looks very happy with that. Well done.
Very, very
Well done.
Really? Even at midstream?
Yes.
So we're quickly going to go to an arena rake, and then we'll be ready for the jump off. And I think there are only 15 horses in the jump off.
I've tried to notice it, but I can't quite pick it up. But as they're jumping and they go over and I know they're turning left or turning right, certain of the other legs has to be in front, and they tap the horse and the nose to switch its legs and stride. So it becomes quite difficult.
So it's quite technical, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, it does. Certainly does.
Unbelievable. You'd never think it's so technical.
No. No, I live on a sugar farm down the south coast of Scotland.
You farm for somebody?
No.
You got your own farm.
No, I want to actually farm in Mozambique.
You got a farm in Mozambique?
Yeah, I've got a partnership with a guy who's in Moambe district in Mozambique, on the Tamaki River. Beautiful soil, beautiful. 200 hectares there. But no, I work on a farm in Scotland. But not farming, we've done property development, retirement village. So, that retirement village, so it's overseeing managing that, getting that right, and running right. So we do our own water, and we do our own sewage purification. So we put it in our own electricity, so we put everything back in to the estate. So we don't take anything from the government.
So what made your stepson go into horse riding?
He's
not horses.
yeah, he has his entire life been riding. And actually the startling thing about it is that he was born almost tone deaf, completely deaf. So, understanding and hearing and all of those, one of your senses gone, I think it's made him better. I think that's made him better. But he's got a very gentle touch with horses from my family and friends around here that tell me that watch him. And they season horse people, and they tell me that he's got a very gentle touch and a way with horses. It's just really wonderful to know.
What beats me is we've been waiting so long for the next thing to run. Now suddenly when they start jumping, that's
Yeah. No, so
why do they do that? Just to...
they're also getting ready, I think, now for the jumpers. So like the semi-finals now.
Is it?
I think that's coming on now.
And tomorrow final.
So, well, no, just for today. But tomorrow they're jumping bigger from what I understand. A lot higher. About 1.4, 1.45. This is 1.3, 1.35 now.
So your stepson has done well up to now?
Very good. Very
Really?
good. Very good. Very good. So you continue riding so many different horses all in one day. It's quite a feat. Quite a feat.
So how much does he get paid well to be able to go on?
Not really. No.
More a hobby.
You know, look at his job. So I suppose his job in essence is like a stable hand come trainer, but you know, it's like at that level, and he's a very good level, but it's not an area where you're going to earn a great salary. But he'll get there. He'll get there.
How old is he now?
25.
Oh, okay.
25.
But I found that younger ladies, they the quickest good.
Quick learners.
Very fast.
Sorry, excuse me.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ready to go here in his Dunlop-sponsored 1m30 championship class.
Yeah, just make, I think just put it on this one.
Winter Festival 2021 jump off is 1, 2, 3, 9A, 9B, 10 and 11. 1, 2, 3, 9A, 9B, 10 and 11. Time allowed 47 seconds.
Right, welcome back everyone.
First to go.
I think we're in for a very exciting jump off.
Bell has gone. Go well.
Shaitan says that he's just going to have a nice round, but we all know he gets very competitive. First up in the jump off, Shaitan Hendricks and Callagher Condior, owned by Shawnee Gooch. Gallop up on the 5. This horse jumps beautifully. She is so careful. Great ride. These are 19 seconds coming in there. Peter's really getting her going. She's focused on jumping too high and not traveling. 29 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, super. 34.39. Clear. And he did motor. Wonder where, I'm going to ask him when he comes back, where exactly was he holding back there. Okay, so setting the bar, 34.39. Next up is Bronwyn Meredith de Santos, and she owns and rides Kaya Het Van Het Nieterhof. So 5 strides, same as Shayton. Sure, May's jumping beautifully. Probably just trying to build a relationship with her. My time is broken. I can't see what the time is. They're just going full. Me is something else to watch. Right, good, beautiful clear round there. We'll hear the time now. 37.46. Right, next up we've got Kayla Gutenbach. She owns and rides Arch Rival. I think she's going to give it a go. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5. This horse is really jumping beautifully. Looks like he started to fit into the 130s. Excellent ride off the corner. She looks a bit slower than Shayton. Here I think beautiful ride into the triple bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure, great round. Let's see what her time is. Yeah, into the lead. 32.16. So nearly 2 seconds faster than Shayton. Right, Tracy Davids, she is a speed demon. She's definitely going to go flat out, and she rides Credo Larissa, the little Lisbon, out of the Bambix mare. She's going to be super quick here. I mean, this horse can literally turn. Oh, hanging. She's going to have to gallop because I don't think she will make the 6 to the last. Excellent ride. Let's see. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh! Shame.
1.
Oh, her time was faster. 31.26. And unfortunately, 4 penalties for Tracy and Larissa. Next up, we got Mandy Johnson, and she is riding Colorado Z. Mandy's also a speed queen. Let's see what she comes up with. Oh, she's going. This horse jumps very high. Is she going to do 6 to the last? I'm not too sure. Looks like it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And clear. Clear and into the lead. 31.99. 31.99 and clear. Right, next up, I'm sure she's going to give it a go. We've got Paige Lee Gooch, and she's riding Calaho Luchetta. Sure. Paige going a bit wider there. Oh, deep. No, she's just going to have a nice round and hopefully finish with a clear and a nice ticket. age. Clear for jumping, but finishing with a time fault. Oh no, I lied. Going into 5th position. Right, next up we got Michelle Fleming riding Plastic Colours Master Batch, way to go. I think she'll just go for a nice round with her horse. She's building him for bigger things. Oh. This horse is such quality. Beautiful. Just a nice, steady clear. Still jumping into 4th place. Mish will be very happy with that. Right, she's going to give it a go. Next up, Catherine Neal, riding the Dalman and Mining Civils Callahoo Freedom. Beautiful. Turn, smooth. Kick. Oh, fizzled out. Unfortunately, this is what jump-offs do to you. Oh, that was a pity. They'll be back for the next one. So Mandy's still holding the lead, 31.99. Next up, Armageddon and Sten Muchner. I don't know what Sten's game plan's going to be. I'm sure he's going to give it a go. Sure. This also has such a big stride. Good ride, Sten. Whoa. Oh. Let's see. Waiting on the 7 there to the last. Let's see it. Oh, into the lead. Well done, Sten. Brilliant. Sten and Armageddon. 31.08. So Mandy goes into second. Okay, next up we've got Olivia van Rooyen riding Corland. Oh, I think she's going to give it a go. And this horse looks fast and careful and wonderful. Sure. Let's see, she looks a little bit slower than Sten there. So going on the 7. Beautiful round. I don't think she was faster than Sten. Let's just wait and see. 34.38 into fourth place they jumped. Okay, next up we have Lorette Knowles-Taylor, and she's riding Voitskirt Sahara. I'll definitely give it a go. Come on. Beautifully ridden. Let's see how fast she turns here. I think it's looking.
Come on!
Come on, Law. Oh, what a shot. Come on. Oh, going on the 6. Yes! Brilliant. Got her B into the lead. Let's see. Oh no, only second position. You don't realize how fast. How fast. 31.40. Right, next up, Ashley Taylor riding Equestrian Affairs Farnham Elite Rhythm. She's going to give it a go. She's going to definitely try beat her mom. Come on, Nu.
Turn!
Turn. Good turn, right? Let's see. Oh, she's going for it.
Come on!
Gonna have to give her a kick. Good girl. 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, stay up. Ah, too flat. Was the time there? Oh, 30.35. Her time was there. Unfortunately, fastest of everyone, but 4 faults. Okay, next up we have James Lowe riding Capital Vegas. Okay, this is this horse's first 130 show, so I imagine James is just going to go for a nice clear. Let's see, because now these shadows have changed. Just looks like a lovely horse, this, and James has done such a beautiful job. Oh, beautiful round. Good horse production from James Lowe with Capital Vegas. I think he's going to be very happy with his show. Time of 41.26 and clear. Okay, next up we've got Hannelise Comfort, and she's riding Vermate and Thermalmad's Shadowfly. She's definitely going to give it a go. She is very fast and competitive. Oh, turn tight there. Shadowfly shaking his head a little bit. Let's go. Let's see if she gallops here. No, I don't think it's going to be. I don't know. Whoa. She's. Clear, let's see. I think she's into the lead. 31.40 into second. So Sten and Armageddon still hold the lead with 3 horses left to go. Next up, we have Tossie Rayner, who owns and rides Assegai Storyteller. Cool. Tight, nice, neat turn back. Some screaming and shouting from the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, chickened out. Ah, clear. 31.81, I think. Into 4th position there, Jam. Yeah, 31.81. Sten is on 31.08. Next up, we've got Piccadilly D, owned by Carenza Hunter and ridden by Kyla Brains. I think she's definitely going to go flat out. Carenza is very competitive. Oh. Come on, Pickles. Let's see. Oh, clipping it very quick off the turn there. Jeez, easy on the 6, unfortunately. 2 down, 30.33, so time was very fast. Unfortunately, 2 down. Right, next up, number 72. Rebecca Clintworth riding Davenport Rant and Rave. And I personally think these two are going to win because this horse looked very fast. And he doesn't waste any time in the air. Let's see. Come on. I don't even think she needs to fire him up before the start. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, come on. This horse is so fast. Let's see. Oh! Right, now she's going to have to move it. Come on. Sheesh, like she hasn't pulled him once. 1, 2, 3. She better sit up here. Come on, sit up a little bit. Oh, yeah, hooked it. 29.42. She would have won by 2 seconds. Well, that means that our 130 adult champions are Sten and Armageddon. Well done, Stenik Mukna and Karen Ralston Popolado. And well done, Rebecca, that was brilliant.
Armageddon will have the full result for you to follow. Don't go far. Big thank you to Dunlop, generous sponsors of this 1 meter 30 championship class. Car registration NKK 3199, NKK 3199. It's a White Ford Ranger Wild Track. Parking someone in, please. Can you move? NKK 3199 White Ford Ranger Wild Track. You are parking someone in, please move. overall result of this class, sponsored by Dunlop. Big thank you to them. Dunlop is committed to promoting safe environments on and off the road, so even while riding and enjoying the outdoors, remember to stay safe. Take a look at the winner of the class, Zdeněk Muchna, on the popular in 31.08. Sahara, Lorette Knowles-Taylor in 31.40. Joint second with Vermate Thermal Muds Shadow Fly, Annelies Kamfer in 31.40. So those two ladies will have to share the second tier of the podium. No need for a third step there, although we are social distancing, so let's just pretend the 3 says 2. Fourth place to Assegai Storyteller, Tossie Raynor. In fifth place, Colorado Z, Mandy Johnson. Sixth place to arch rival, Kayla Gattenbach. Seventh to Corland and Olivia Finroyen. The eighth placing going to Kellaho Con Dior, Chayton Hendricks. Ninth to Plastic Colors Master Batch. Way to go, Michelle Fleming. The 10th placing to Kaya von Hittenhoff, Bronwyn DeSantos. 11th placing to Kellaho Luchetto, Paige Beach. 12th to Capital Vegas, James Lowe. 13th to Davenport Ranton Rave, Rebecca Clintworth. Fastest time 29.42. She just found the last pole at the death there. That denied her the outright victory. 14th to Equestrian Affairs Farnham Elite Rhythm and young Ashley Taylor. Credo Larissa and Tracy Davis in 15th. 16th to Kellaho Freedom. 17th to Air Holidays Piccadilly D and Kyla Brains Favor the Bold. And Zundi Elcock, they got that final placing. Big round of applause to the winner, Zdeněk Muchna. He was supposed to go on Caskia. He hit the deck pretty hard. He's a tough young man. A lot of people would have just bowed out for the rest of the competition. He took an Adkadal, got back on, shook it off. Or he took something more legal than Adkadal, I'm not sure. Jump back on, and here he is in the winner's position here on the wonderful Armageddon for Anna Karen Tony Popolato. Well done, guys. The old man. What a campaigner he's been over the years. Previous winner of the President's Cup. Lovely, lovely to see him adorned in the winner's sash and the winner's blanket there. Armageddon takes the honours here in this 1m30 championship class. One will remember his unfortunate incident last year at the death of the Burlington Cup when he was highest qualifier last to go. Injured himself there. He's been on the comeback trail, recovered nicely, and here he is back to his winning form. Wonderful to see. Armageddon, Zdeněk Muchna, well-deserving winners here. Second place to Lorette Knowles-Taylor. Well done, Law. Tying for second with the flying Annelies Kamfer. Oshkosh Sahara, and Shadowfly. Well done to the grooms as well, you unsung heroes. Horses look absolutely wonderful. Well done, guys. Big round of applause, please, to all the grooms. What a fantastic job that they do behind the scenes. Many, many hours spent with these wonderful animals. So to the winner, apart from the 6,000 Rand, courtesy of Dunlop, Sten also walking away with the fleece day sheet from the cow freight. Thank you to Chantel the cow. Beautiful Ardmore ceramic piece, an Aquila hamper, spur wing jacket, rider and beanie for the groom, an Ecologic all-in-one stain remover and an AN equine voucher, as well as a Dunlop gift. Dunlop, the sponsor of this class. Second placing to both Lorette Knowles-Taylor and Annalise Comfort. I don't know how we're going to do this. You guys are going to have to share these. Equistrat hamper, Bellevue Cafe voucher, Ecologic all-in-one stain remover, Arco 360 buff, and a equine voucher. Equifeed cooler bag, a bottle of wine, a Bellevue Cafe voucher as well. So there's two of those. No need to share. Ecologic all-in-one stain remover, two of those, and two AA and equine vouchers, and two Dunlop gifts. Sten, would you like to invite Karen and Tony? Karen, if you're around, do you want a picture? Come on in, Karen. Big round of applause for Karen. She works tirelessly, loves her horses. Big supporter of equestrian sports as well, Karen Popolato. Denford Studios. Barney's going to take a picture of all of you. It's a photo opportunity. The groom, Sten, and the mighty Armageddon. Well done, team. Anybody else with any of the other connections also want to grab a photo with the Dunlop background as well? You're more than welcome to do so. DenfordStudios.co.za. All photographs have been sponsored throughout the course of the show by Aquila and other sponsors. And today and tomorrow, all your videos, download those for free, courtesy of Rubber Sealant. Armageddon wants the limelight. He's photobombing right now. He's had some big wins in his career, and lovely to see him back. It's all about these moments, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we train for. Spend many, many hours in the saddle and behind the scenes. Lots of money as well goes into the sport, all for these moments. Well done, Stan. Well done, Karen. Popolato family. And the mighty Armageddon. First and second grooms get a lovely prize sponsored by Bradcore Armature Wineries at El Jones. The first three grooms get a box of Baker's Choice biscuits. Well done, guys. Enjoy your lap of honor. Sten, lead us off. Be upstanding. Give him a big round of applause. Sten Mukta. Highs and lows in this class for sure, but finishing on a massive high. Well done. 1 meter 30 amateur championship, the final class of this Saturday afternoon here at Durban Shongweni Club. Time has just gone 3 o'clock. And 16 horses go through the start. In fact, make that 15 as Royal Cavalier, as number 1, has already been in the previous championship class. Just couldn't do that anymore. Gallagher Faith will be first to go with Catherine Stainton. Triple Light will follow. Some course information for you riders. First round 88 seconds, time allowed. It's over 510 meters, 250 meters per minute. You go clear, jump off will be 11A, 5, 6, 7, 8A, 8B and 9. 11A, 5, 6, 7, 8A, 8B, 9. 15 horses. So looking for our first horse to come down for me. Gallagher Faith, Catherine Stainton. Triple Light is in, that's Evie Calendar Easby. We are looking for Faith. We gotta have faith, faith, faith. There we have Faith. Suddenly we all have Faith. Catherine's gonna come forward, take the salute. Teresa and Tina doing the duty here as the judges for the competition. 1 be a 30 Bradcore Armature Wines in the Western Shop. You can take the slip from there, Cam. Thank you very much. We are now good to go. Time allowed 88 seconds. Jump off 11A, 5, 6, 7, 8A, 8B, and 9.
I think it's relaxed. Okay, because you've been saying stuff, yeah. No, we've been spilling their secrets. Yeah. We know what one use. Hey, it's you too. Even Cat doesn't hit her horses. Cat doesn't hit her horses.
Charging for the service. I've charged someone with her budget.
Elimination, I'm afraid, there for Catherine Stainton and number 2, Callagher Faith. Catherine going to take the confidence building jump. Tail for number 3, Callagher Chipperlight. Evie Calendar Easby for the Callagher Warm Blood Stud. Go well. Clear all the way, keeping Calendar Easby, very classy Callagher Chipperlight, lights on his feet, 83.25. Jump off 11A, 5, 6, 7, 8A, 8B, 9. Next to go, Callagher Conchabella, George Fabric. That's your bell. George Fabric, but 11A coming down. 4 penalties, Gallagher, Conch, George. Tanya Siciliano, she's ready to go. Aurelia Cool. That's your bell, Tanya. Standing by, we'll take Georgina Cross next. I have a character. 2 fences going down, numbers 2 and 8. 8 penalties for Borelli Cool and Tanya Siciliano. 77.86 the time. Time allowed in this first round, 88 seconds. Time was good. 2 fences. Next to go, I have Carrick Tor. This is Georgina Cross. Carrick Tor. You know who else is a Carrick Tor? Pip. He's next. Georgina electing to retire. She's had a few polls, a little bit of a shake-up in the warm-up as well. Hope that you're okay. Tomorrow's another day. Fight it out there. Next to go, Leonie van der Berg. The Bergs, Calaho Lumos.
Okay.
Berg equestrian Kailami. Just the one clear, Calaho Chupalite. Sabrina Barbaglia goes next. Number 8, Black Baloo van de Mispala. Number 8, still looking for a second clear. Force a jump. Total of 18 penalties for Sabrina Barbaglia and Black Baloo van de Mispalada. 6 for time. Next to go, number 9, Trip of a Lifetime, United Castle. Amy Hayes standing by on Ribbons Whirlwind. Just the one clear.
And then by the time I got home, it was cancelled. So I went to bed at 1:00. That's why I got back at 5:45. I had to leave at 5:30 to go to the show. I was scared. I was I can't even do it. Never know fine.
Total of 24 penalties for Trip of a Lifetime and United Castle. Bell for Amy Hay, number 10, Ribbons Whirlwind. Stand Pepe. clear up until the penultimate jump, number 10, that went down, and then 11B as well finishes on a score of 8, Rivets, Whirlwind and Amy Hay. Still just the one clear with 6 left to come. Christy Holden, is she here? Christy here? Christy Holden. Pepe! Alexander, awesome. Pepe goes next. Let's take Pepe. Pepe was here first. Christy Holden goes next. 11 Kerwood, brilliant. Linda Stainton, Catherine's second ride, go well.
It's not my fault your guards are not on point. No, I think it's been for a while. I felt like Ronnie.
Like I was giving him a carrot. I was giving him a carrot.
No, I felt like Ronnie. After Andre got hold of him.
I think I have every pole down.
It's okay, you did good. I think you needed some more champagne. Do you want to sort of...
I should have had some.
No problem.
Give it a pat.
You didn't have to
Yes, she was just running and running and running. It's really great. It's taking us hard.
12, 11, 3 of those being time for Gallagher Let's Fly and Catherine Stainton. On-turn riders Western Shop 130 Amateur Championship. We've just got the one clear. Evie Calendar Easby leading on the only clear. Second at this stage, George Purvis on 4 penalties. Third, Women's World MMA on 8 in 71.45. Two left to come, Zoe Goodman. Currently on track. 15.
How was it big? And you danced then? And how did it look as you said? One day I'll hope I can jump it.
One day you will be there, Duffy. You thank me and you will. Never. You've never.
Never at all.
Duffy, never. In your whole life.
Never at all.
When you were drinking, you drink. Duffy, you were a good rider.
So we Karen lives in Margaret. One day, hopefully,
God will carry you.
I've only ever done
And in our competition,
but I'm hoping that you can
what is that? Norway. And what's the biggest you've jumped in your real life? You jumped easy.
No, I've jumped at home and stuff. But I've jumped like in a
3 down for young Zoe Goodman, Heart of Hope.
in the ring.
Goes into 6th position, money all the way to 4th. Look at those top 4. Triple Light Clear leads from Conchavilla and George on 4. Ribbons Whirlwind on 8 in 71.45. 4th place for Aurelia Cool, Tanya Siciliano 8 penalty 77.86. And those are your top 4. Last to go, Staccato's boy, Terry Lee Bryson. Just the one clear.
And sometimes, no, but we would. Yes, more than that. And sometimes,
We just need our lucky break
and
again. I had my lucky break in 20 rounds. Yeah, we will.
One down, 4 penalties in 72.84, and that is good enough for second. Just the one clear, outright winner. Kelleher Triple Light and EB Calendar Easby. Full result to follow.
Well done. Second. Hey, came second.
Last day, the first time from home. I said star. Thank you, I said, actually, you couldn't catch enough.
Four prizes, one offer for this amateur championship, sponsored by Bradford Armature Winders and Western Shop. Big thank you to them, 4,000 rand to the winner, who is Gallagher Chopperlight, Evie Calendar Easby, Gallagher Warm Bloodstone, the only clear of the competition. Well done. Second place to Staccato's boy, Terry Lee Bryson, 4 penalties. Give you the time in a moment to two. Third place to number 4, Gallagher Conchavella, George Perbrick on 4 penalties. Fourth place to number 10, Rivens, Wilwood and Amy Hay on 8 penalties. Top 3 into the arena for prize giving, please.
Not gonna jump. Okay, cool.
Fifth place to Tanya Siciliano and Borrelia Cool. So to recap the placings here, Triple Light, Triple Light the winner, Evie Kanda Easby, the only clear, takes the victory. Staccato's boy Terry Lee Bryson, 4 penalties in 72.84. Third placing to Gallagher Conchavella, George Gerbrick, 4 penalties in 78.37. Fourth place to Rivens Will and Amy Hay, 8 penalties in 71.45. And fifth placing to Maria Cool, Tanya Siciliano, 8 penalties in 77.86. Winner walks away with 4,000 rand, 2,800 rand for second, 2,000 for third, and 1,500 for fourth. Triple Light also walking away with a fleece day sheet from Macau Freight. Thank you to Chantal Macau. Also a set of equestrian themed cushions from Cotton Designs and an Ecologic all-in-one stain remover. Second place, Terry Lee Bryson, Staccato's boy, receiving 2,800 rand and an Equistrat gift bag, Ecologic all-in-one stain remover. And third placing, George, receives an Ecologic all-in-one stain remover. The winning groom receives a lovely prize sponsored by Bradford Armature Winders. Dale Jones and all 3 grooms receiving a box of Bacon's Choice biscuits.
You have to wear a mask.
I'm not Muslim.
You have to wear a mask.
You are not from the Congo.
She is.
I am from the Congo, actually. I am also from the Congo.
You guys can get any rays of sun.
You guys don't do that.
No, we want Carol in our shop.
Carol, you've got a great symbol.
We are here for Mount Bird.
If we could ask the top 3 to come forward, dismount. And Barney will take your winning snaps. Denford Studios, go along. All photos free of charge, sponsored by Weller and others. Rubber Sealand sponsoring the videos today and tomorrow. Denford Studios is where you'll find all of those pics and videos. Feel free to upload to social media. Please just don't tamper with the sponsors' banners.
But you never purchased saying it is. Have a ding dong day, Dairy Bow. It's a Nguni. Turning that horse.
We're transferring your 1.2 million rand horse into an Nguni.
That horse is such a cow. At least you can show it at the royal show.
Exactly. There is no harm in that.
Oh,
I would love to be in a
he's got 5 legs at the moment.
The kick girth, and his thing was stuck in between the kick girth and he ejaculated all into the
Australian.
French stallion. French
No
stallion.
way.
And it was all running out of his
Oh,
eyes.
that's disgraceful.
I just walked away like I didn't know that it was mine. I just stood there. He was so embarrassed.
Just frame up very carefully, Barney.
He put a girth and he's in the middle of between the
Oh, careful, Chayton. Likes your deodorant, careful.
Look at this one, he's
Oh,
on the
God.
mountain.
That's what Ren said. I should have put a cup under there.
The collar.
Yes,
Really?
Somebody bring the ice. He smells that Condior on you. Well done, Evie. Well done, Terry. Where's Master George? George Perbrick in third. Winner Evie Calendar Easby, well done, takes the win here, the only clear of this competition. Staccato's Boy and Terry Lee Bryson back in second, 4 penalties. George Perbrick back in third, 4 penalties in 78-37. It's not the Christian Dior on you he likes, it's the Kelleher Con Dior. Big round of applause for Evie Calendar Easby and the very impressive, and I mean the horse, not what he was showing off. Triple lights. Staccato's Boy in second, some happy snaps from Barney, and then lead us off on a well-deserved lap of honour.
Yes.